What do you feel impassioned about right now?
Right now, what I feel very passionate about is oneness consciousness and the shift, and it really got reconfirmed and re-inspired yesterday through this event in Boston, because so many people, and of course it's tragic. I'm a mother, of course you feel for everybody that got killed and hurt, and the pain and the trauma it leaves within people. Yet, the spiritual perspective of shifting above it, right? And transcending the fear and transcending the drama of it, because it so communicates, oh, we're not safe.
Right.
Oh, you can't go anywhere anymore, right? Oh,
Right.
we need more protection, right? And so when we stay in that drama and in that fear, we're so feeding it.
Yeah.
Right? We're feeding it, and we're attracting more of it because we're feeding it.
Yeah.
And so to acknowledge the loss and to acknowledge what happened, and then to be courageous enough and to trust enough to shift into the perspective of, let's thank the souls that have passed, and let's thank the souls that got injured, and let's send love and light into all of them, including the ones that caused this and that inspired this to happen, because it is opportunity for us to acknowledge our oneness, because we're not only one with the ones that were victims, but we're also one with the ones that are so disconnected and in pain themselves, because otherwise they wouldn't do this.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes. Yeah.
And so...
Yeah, to me, I think, well, what are terrorists trying to do? They're trying to incite terror in our souls. And so when I think of that, I think I'm not going to sit there and get terrified and fearful, because then, and I know this isn't like about game playing, but I think, well, then they've accomplished their objective, which is to set terror in me and make me feel unsafe in my own house. And so I'm not going to allow that to happen, not only because I don't want that to happen for my own being, but then also it gives the other person empowerment. Like, they feed off of, as in your analogy, they're feeding off of the fear. So it makes them grow stronger. And so if you're going to feed anything, are you going to feed fear or feed courage, and like you said, courage and love and light and hope, So I think it's a choice that we have to make when those kind of events happen, to either go into the fear or not, I think.
Right. Yes, exactly. And so, that shift, to make that shift, is so important in every way, on so many levels, with all of these events that are happening on our planet, because I really believe that there has never been so much disconnect and so much pain and so much fear and so much violence as there is now. Right? And so to acknowledge that as opportunity to send love into it, because only love heals. And from a scientific perspective, and I love science because science to me really confirms spirituality now. From a scientific point of view, love is the faster vibration, and love nullifies fear. Right? So if we only stand so strong in our love, perspective, and truth, and send and keep sending love, it will manipulate and nullify and affect that density, right?
Yeah, that's actually the healing force, right? Even for those people who were in fear committing the crime, that energetic vibration of love it will shift things for them, even if it's to feel some compunction over whatever they ended up doing. It's funny because I was in a book club, and one of my friends was very distraught because she said, I can't even go to a movie theater because I'm just terrified now to go into a movie theater. And we were all talking about how we have dealt with what's happened. And I said, I've reached a point where I think it's, like you said, you rise above and you can see it as is, and saying, this is actually perfect as is. that the world is actually a dualistic world in which these great things are happening and these hard things are happening, and that, in fact, if the hard things didn't happen, it wouldn't make the good things look as good. And in some ways, some of these things that happen, I think they're positive things that happen. It's hard for us to tell. I mean, and I think you have to look at a really, really long lens at what the good things are. But, I think that, not to get too much into politics, but George Bush, which to me felt like a really dark time, because he was so bad, it ignited a whole bunch of people into politics when they were not ignited before. And so they ignited a bunch of people, and I don't think Obama would have been elected if not for George Bush before. It was just so incredibly bad that the balance was sought, and it happened. And so sometimes even the darkest moments, I think, are there for a reason. We don't understand them at the time, but if you take a longer horizon, I think it's there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
We do see eye to eye.